Okay, cool.
Okay, tell me what we're doing. We're at
So,
Rythm.
oh, sorry.
What is this?
So, we're a regular at-home blood testing company. So we use one of these FDA cleared devices. It goes on your arm. It's super simple. You just press the button. It's painless. It fills up with blood. We're focused on tracking your hormones and metabolic health every month. The primary goal for that is to really think about this as an extension to your wearable. So we all understand the importance of sleep, different stages of sleep. The next stage after sleep is dialing in your hormones and your metabolic markers. Those biomarkers are the ones going to impact your day-to-day energy, your relationships, your libido, your recovery. It's critical in all facets of performance as well as recovery, and even in your social life. Like, estrogen can affect your relationships and in the way that you sort of feel and connect with your partner. So it affects every aspect of your life. And then we also display the data in a dashboard for you so you can track it month to month. We focused on making it really affordable. So it's $79 a month for now. The panel that we do offer would typically cost you anywhere between $300 and $400.
Sure.
So we've brought that right down, and we plan on bringing it down even further so we can make this accessible to everyone.
Great. And what markers? So this test we're going to do me next, but what are we going to measure?
So we're going to measure everything from testosterone to estrogen, all the way through to cortisol. We track your thyroid. We look at all of your cholesterol markers. We track iron, and we track glucose as well. So you've got the hormones on one side and then the metabolic function on the other side, and they're interrelated as well. The cortisol affects cholesterol and or like the metabolic flexibility. So you've got to optimize both sides, and that's what we help you do through the dashboard.
Amazing. And what's your background?
So my background's quite mixed, actually. I studied economics and finance originally. My interest in health came from my dad had a kidney transplant when I was a young kid. So he had dialysis machine in the house. We had a cupboard called the dialysis cupboard, and so I've been around the health space and working in the health space for a long time. But where then I went into tech and worked on a number of different tech products where we ended up building a fitness dashboard. And then that's where we found these devices. These devices make this possible, honestly. Like, if you've ever used a finger prick, it's awful. So we had the opportunity to bring these to market. And then these collect a lot more blood than a finger prick as well. So you're actually able to get this panel. So my background isn't medical. We have a medical advisory panel that we work with as well. However, I'm also a triathlete. I'm racing on the weekend as well.
All right.
And so I've been looking at these markers for quite some time and thinking about this from a performance and health standpoint. I will be clear, we're not a medical product. We don't do any diagnostics. We don't recommend any medication or anything like that. We're closer to like a wearable like Garmin where you're tracking your sleep and whatnot. That's why I also don't like to call this product a blood test. It's not a test. You don't do a sleep test every night. There's no pass or fail. It's giving you the data, empowering you to make better decisions in your life. A lot of these markers, you need to get permission for someone to test you. That's not the case here. You can just sign up, you can get the information for yourself, and then you can start to dial these markers in.
Why do you think it's so important for athletes to get this test done?
I mean, it's important for a number of different reasons. You stress your body out an enormous amount. For example, we consume an enormous amount of carbohydrates. There's not a lot of studies on that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I do track my insulin sensitivity through.
We're a low carb athlete podcast.
What's that, sorry?
We're lower carb athletes.
Yeah, I'm a higher carb athlete, but in that sense, so that's an example. The other thing as well is like your cholesterol can get thrown off a lot if you under fuel in your workouts. When you're under fueling, you stress your body out and stuff like that. So like cholesterol can be raised through that instance. Iron affects a lot of female, like 30% of female athletes have low iron. A lot of male athletes have low estrogen because of low body fat percentage. So I would say like, and testosterone as well, like if you're not recovering properly, having poor sleep, 80% of your testosterone is generated in deep sleep. So if you're not sleeping properly because you're too stressed during the day from your workouts and whatnot. So the thing I do want to say is there's a variety of different athletes. Some athletes operate better low carb, some operate better high carb, some people are better fat burners and whatnot. So I don't want to proclaim that we have a specific method that's better for everyone. However, what is good for everyone is getting data to make sure that your way actually is good for you. in that sense is what we're really trying to show. So everyone has hormones, everybody has metabolic markers regardless of what your diet is, and your day-to-day life impacts those markers. And so just make sure, like, you know, every influencer will tell you a different thing. There's a new scientific study out as to what works better for everyone. Like, I'm not saying anything works best. Whatever works best for you is great. But the only way you're going to know that is through your blood biomarkers.
Yeah. Well, that's why I say test and not guess, and it's all about personalization. And you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And you don't know how you should fuel or train or recover based on just guessing. But if you get this data and retest, you're saying every month you want people to retest.
You can retest every month. The goal is to make that as frequent as possible and while making it affordable. Just like how we track our sleep every night, you track your heart rate all the time. People have continuous glucose monitors and stuff. All of these markers, as the technology improves, will be tracked more and more frequently. But for now, based on where we are, monthly makes the most sense from a financial standpoint, and also it's enough time to get a good set of data. But you can cancel anytime. We don't lock you in.
Now, that's great, because I think that scares people when they have subscription and everyone's tired of fees. But to get this done, what's website, where do people get started?
So you can get started at rythmhealth.com. So it's Rythm, RYTHM, health.com. Just to repeat that, it's not RHY, it's RYTHM, health.com. If you end up on a weed website, you've gone in the wrong direction. Rythmhealth.com, and you can sign up on the website. It's $79 a month. And the other thing I would say is different about our product, just briefly, is we actually have optimal zones for each stage of your menstrual cycle. We're the only blood test company, as far as I know, that does that. So take note of your cycle when you do a test, and then we give you optimal zones based on whether you're in your follicular or luteal stage. Most companies just give you, say, estrogen, and it's between 5 and 5,000, and you're okay. And so, like, we have spent a lot of time. 20% of our users are postmenopausal women, and so depending on where you are in your sort of life, we can serve you as well.
Great, thank you.
Cool.